Knudsen,
Mr. Tursky.
this is Two Guys Talking Golf.
And we have a third face.
It's Three Guys Talking Golf.
That's right. A face that probably most people have not seen, but they know who this face
Thank
is.
God.
They know who he is.
Honestly, thank God, yeah. It's good.
You ever heard that Mace song? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Isn't it like Welcome Back Cotter or whatever?
Well, yeah, Mace had the remix, though.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha. But,
From Mondays Off, Steve Westphal making the reappearance, man.
Welcome
Yes.
to
How
it.
you feeling?
Welcome to it. Honestly, Knudsen's intros are way better. So you kind of fell off on that. Yeah.
the assistant pro, the number one assistant pro from whatever category I came up with was always solid.
Yeah, it used to be the nation's number one assistant pro. Then it turned into right now it's the nation's number one electrical distribution specialist. So here
We'll
we
get
are.
into that.
Yeah, we're
But
definitely.
first, a word from our sponsor.
That's right. And today's episode brought to you by Fujikura Ventus TR. Yeah, the TR, brand new one. Got new spread toe material in the handle section. Same velo core in the tip as all the Ventus shafts are famous for. Mid-launch, low spin, extra stable, extra consistent. The new TR raises the bar. Go to FujikuraGolf.com, check out the Ventus TR, see where your authorized dealer is. Go check it out, hit it for yourself, and try it. Thing's solid. I've been playing it for a while now. Love it. So, FujikuraGolf.com, man. Check it out.
That's how you read an ad right there.
That's right.
It's phenomenal.
Hey.
Pros
So-
pro. Pros pro.
The pros
Westphal,
pro.
let's get right into it.
Yeah,
We
let's
need
go
an
for it.
update. What's happened since the last time you recorded a podcast on Golf WRX Radio?
Entirely too much. New kid. I think last time I think when I recorded the final one, we had our second kid
Yeah.
on board.
Names?
We have three. We have three now. And I could not be further removed from the golf professional life, which to each their own. So
Well, first of all, how's father life? Do we have clubs in the hands yet, or what?
yeah, I'm trying. My big thing is not trying to force that. If we go out there with clubs and they want to swing it, they want to, take some turf off the earth, that's fine. But I just don't want to force it. It's golf is something that's supposed to be so enjoyable that when they're ready, they'll do it. And I feel like I can instruct them well enough that especially like my daughter's 4. I mean, I don't need her going to clinics right now. I don't need her going to junior camps. Like I can do that. So when she's ready to swing the club, like
Shots fired.
not shots fired, but I mean, I don't need her. I'm not going to pay money for her to go do water balloon races. Like I can teach her how to grip a club, and that's kind of what I'm here for. So when
That's
she's
what you think of junior clinics?
come on, man,
Well,
I'm sorry.
wow.
come on.
I'm just going on what you're saying.
Okay, so a big portion of junior clinics is keeping the students involved, keeping everybody entertained. So yeah, you kind of do some off the radar type stuff for sure, because the kids have fun. The last thing you want when the parents are paying $200 a day or a week or whatever the price point is to have the kid go back in the car and say, "Oh, what'd you learn?" "Well, I threw water balloons at Tommy." Like, you don't want the kid going back and saying that, So
Can't hit a 3-iron, but you
yeah,
can throw a water balloon.
Well, you can't hit a 3-iron either, so keep it in line. But
Ooh.
What is this?
you know what
I
I'm
have you
saying.
on as a guest.
So we're
You're
trying
a guest.
as a golf pro, you're trying to make it fun. And for my daughter, I want it to be fun. I never want it to be like a pressured situation. That's my point.
What would be the first lesson that you teach your child about golf?
I think you kind of just let them loose, honestly. I mean, a lot of people are big on speed early, which is good because you can't really teach speed. Like, there's a lot of guys on tour right now that are trying to, up their club head speed. Shout out to Bryson, who's obviously kind of led the way on that one. But it is important. Distance is important. There was a guy in Louisiana, I can't remember his name, but his big thing was speed first. Like, let them swing as hard as they possibly can, and then you can kind of dial it back in and incorporate some technique. So I think you kind of just let them go. Because the funny thing is, the golf swing, as unnatural as it is, kind of comes naturally. Like, if you give a 5-year-old a golf club and put a ball down, their action's pretty solid. Like, it just kind of happens. And I feel like the more you try to force it, the more they push away from it. So that young, I feel like you just got to let them rock. And then when they get like 6, 7, somewhere in there, you can kind of dial it in, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
What's the one thing you miss most about the golf industry?
Yes.
Let's get into it.
Nothing.
What? Wait, nothing?
Nothing.
Oh, my God.
The grass is greener on the other side, boys. I'm sorry.
What? Yeah, but speaking of green grass, you're probably not getting the tips. Keep your grass looking green. You used to get the lowdown from the maintenance crew.
Yeah, that's true. I guess. I mean, I learned enough. So it is. My yard is starting to come in. I mean, it's the end of April. It's starting to come in. We got to do a little bit of work, but it's starting to come in.
So you don't miss anything. Like, you don't miss teeing it up with a couple members, and like a couple cool members. I'm not talking about those like idiots who just want to go out there and prove that they're better than the pro.
You're right.
You don't miss like a couple cool guys having a beer, walking 9, just playing.
I do.
His face just got red.
No,
he's getting fired up right now.
I'm not fired up. I do miss that for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, there's a certain group of guys at a club, at a private club, that, you know, they're about the culture, you know?
Yeah.
They like to play. They like to, you know.
What else?
Maybe delve into some extracurriculars when it's appropriate. I mean, that's just, you know, most of the time these members are, you know, they're grinding Monday to Friday. So that, you know, Saturday and Sunday, when they get a little bit of time off, they do let a little loose for sure. But that's, you know, that's part of it. I miss that. I don't miss teaching Mrs. Havenkamp how to hit a 70-yard draw. That's for sure. I can tell you that. But there's aspects that I miss, and you know, do I miss setting up a member guest, like a 3-day member guest, where, you know, you're sending groups off 1 and 10, and, you know, who's getting pops on what hole, and, you know, you're doing 50% of this handicap, 100% of this handicap. No, I don't miss that at all.
Putting dots on scorecards.
Ugh.
Hey, you want to be a golf pro? You're dotting scorecards. That's
If you were standing in front of a lecture hall at a PGM school,
oh, they'd hate me.
200 kids, what would be
hate me.
the advice that you give them? Now, keep in mind, Westphal has gone to greener pastures, so
yeah, he is.
This might be a bitter answer.
I mean,
floor is yours.
you just in any. I can't really talk super negative about it, because in any walk of life, you have to be passionate about what you do if you want to be successful. So if you want to be a golf pro, go be a golf pro, but you got to be committed to it. You got to be super committed to it. And my advice for anyone that wants to be a golf pro would be go teach. It's blood money, but that's where the money is. I mean, the problem is, and it's I don't want to go off too much off the rails on this one, because it's very easy for me to do it. But
Let it rip.
Yeah, about to say.
That's what we're here for.
The problem is, everybody, you know, in the grand scheme of business, big business is taking over, right? Mom and pops are shutting down. It's the you know, I'm not going to name it because they don't pay us to name it, or they don't pay Golf WX to name it, but you can imagine, like, the blue bloods of the e-commerce world. We all know who that is.
West is getting deep right now. I love it.
No, but
that's
kind of the way the world is working now, right? So, like, the last club I worked at was a very high-end resort club that a management company came in and took over. You see what I'm saying? So management companies are taking over, and their goal in coming in is, how do we cut costs, and how do we increase revenue, right? So the first thing you do is you look at everybody's salaries, right? What's the assistant pro getting paid? What's the head pro getting paid?
Not a lot.
So the old mantra of the head pro owning the shop, getting a piece of the cart fleet, getting bag storage, like that is going out the window. Like, yeah, the head pro at name a blue blood private club. Yeah, they're still getting that. But the average pro is not. So it's like, do you really want to go work 80 hours a week for a nominal amount of money? Like, yeah, the head pro at Shinnecock who's making $500,000 a year on the shop, yeah, that's a freaking gold mine, for sure. But that's not everywhere.
True. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Get
It's so that's the tough part, because the industry is completely changing. Every mid-tier private club is getting bought out by a Club Corp, a Kemper Sports, a Troon Golf, Billy Casper Golf. I mean, name your management company, right? So you have to factor that in. And they also want a piece of the action on lessons. Ooh. Like at your typical private club, you're getting maybe you're making 75% of the lesson money. Most, like, blue blood private clubs, you're making 100%.
Really? Wow, 100%? Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. But
do you set your own rates?
No.
Who sets those? Just like the GM?
If you're the head pro, you can set your own rates. If you're an assistant pro, that's going to be dictated to you to a certain extent.
Right.
To a certain extent. Because most of the time, the assistant pro is probably teaching more than the head pro. So, in theory, the assistant pro's rate should be higher than the head pro, but the head pro is never going to allow that to happen because he's the head pro.
Well, yeah.
Is he busy practicing, typically, the head pro? Let's get to behind the scenes.
Busy putting
now
POs
the podcast
in.
starts.
Busy putting POs in for the golf shop, which is super important.
Was that sarcastic?
No, it is important.
Okay.
If you honestly, it seems like BS, but if you were a member at a nice club, wouldn't you want your pro to stock a nice golf shop with nice polo shirts and
head covers?
Yeah, you run the gamut on it, right? Like that's it. You want, especially if you bring a guest to the club. How cool it is if you bring a guest and it's like, oh my gosh, your pro shop is awesome. You got Smathers and Branson with the needlepoint stuff. You got, all these wallets, and I mean, I've been in pro shops where they have watches. Like that's a nice niche, right? So,
yeah.
But that is kind of what the head pro does, because kind of where the majority of their money comes from.
Quick question: if you could be sponsored by one brand, who are we going with?
Oh, I know the answer to this.
Nothing.
It's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Titleist all day.
Yes. True and true.
You're such a Titleist polo guy.
I like the coolest person.
Always has been.
Listen,
too.
the coolest.
We were like 7 years old. We were playing football.
Oh my god!
He's coming out with polo around.
The coolest person in the world. Like anytime someone asks me that question, before his little mouthy on-air interaction, was Justin Thomas, because he had Titleist.
He had the perfect setup.
He had FootJoy, he had Titleist, FootJoy, and Ralph. Yeah,
Ralph.
RLS. Yeah. And then he had that little incident on the green where he kind of let the cup know what he thought about
so
it,
he's
and
Grayson
we move
now,
on.
though.
But now, Grayson is dope too. So, I mean, he's got a good setup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another quick question.
You gotta stop with the quick questions, man.
Nuts,
how do you do it with this guy?
I only do it to you. Steve.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I don't
It's
get this
unbelievable.
If I was timing you, if I had a shot clock going, are you faster at folding shirts or changing a diaper?
Ooh.
Wow. Folding shirts. Because folding shirts is static. Changing a diaper
What's your process?
is dynamic.
Yeah, it is.
Process.
And Knutson can speak on that.
Yeah.
Changing a diaper is so dynamic. Legs go up, They could be flopping everywhere, right?
You don't know what's in there.
Luckily, Knutson has a girl, so you don't really have to worry about what could happen, worst case scenario, when things are pointing in the wrong direction.
Yep.
But you got to be prepared, because anything could happen.
They're going to squirm. They're going to be rolling around.
I mean, God forbid there's a poop in there, man. I mean, the legs could go in the poop. The hand could go in the poop.
All right.
Next thing you know, you've lost
It's
all
a family
control.
show.
It's
a family show.
You asked the question. You asked the question.
I hope that that Tursky one day has to change a diaper with some child that doesn't want to lay there.
Listen, you think you're ready, and then you change your diaper, and you're like, I was not ready for that.
Yep.
I was not ready.
I could change it faster than West. That's all I know.
No, I don't think so.
Whatever.
Well, it depends. If it's like a brand newborn and they're just laying there and there's nothing, maybe.
Big variable there, not so.
Yeah,
for sure.
But a 2-year, like a 1.5, 2-year-old who's like getting, good luck.
Yeah, exactly. How old's your daughter now?
2.5.
Yeah, you're just getting into it. That's dynamite.
We're just starting like the whole life.
That was so pompous. Like, ha.
We're just getting into the. We're starting to kind of push the potty training thing, and man, is that a nightmare?
It's not easy. It's not easy, buddy.
Absolute nightmare.
I don't envy you for that one.
She wants nothing to do with it.
Well, we're still going down that path, so
it's brutal.
We'll keep
West?
it golf related, but I hear you. It is a grind, and every golf, not even golf, but every father out there listening can
relate.
Yeah, 100%.
West? How's the game?
Yeah. Have you
When's the last time you played?
Surprisingly good, man.
Really?
Yeah.
You're playing a little bit?
Yeah, I mean,
as much as you can with 3 kids?
What was that laugh? You just set a course record or something?
No, I'm laughing because now it's, I live such a privileged lifestyle. It's comical.
The grass is greener. I knew it.
No, it's, it's nice to go out and squeeze in 9 after a day's work when you're an AP or an HP or a DOG or whatever. But
so many acronyms.
Yeah.
Assistant pro, head pro, director of golf.
Beautiful.
Yeah, pick your. I mean,
gotcha.
Cart boy, whatever. Pick your.
Explain
title.
it for the people.
I feel like a lot of people out there would have understood what I was saying. It's okay. I feel like most of the listeners on this are golf enthusiasts. So, but it's nice to go sneak in 9, but then you feel the pressure, like, to get home, like, I would go out and play after work, and I would get out of the shop at, like, 5. Even if you play 9, you're not leaving till 7. And then because you're not leaving till 7, you're the one putting the cart away. You're the one washing the cart. You're the one locking down the pro shop. Now you're not out of there till 8. And my commute used to be like an hour and 10 minutes, so I wouldn't get home till like 9 o'clock. And then I would think, like, yeah, 9 was fun, but was it worth it? I don't know. So now, because I don't play, or I don't practice as much, I play about the same, but I don't
Never practiced.
I don't have a putting green that I can walk out to midday and take the cordless phone out there and hit chips. So it's a little different, but I feel like because my expectations are so much lower, I'll go out and I'll go fire as good, if not better, a number than I would have when I was working in the golf industry. Ooh. Now, if I were to play multiple times a week, it would regress. But because there's no expectations, I'll go out there and I'll go fire like 72, 73 anywhere. Like, no problem. Sometimes there's a local muni that I can go shoot 68, 69 whenever I want.
Prove it.
But, yeah, I'll prove it. But if I were to play multiple times a week, I would shoot 81, 82. Because all of a sudden my expectations would go up, right? Yeah. I know I can shoot the score. I put more pressure on myself. And then the more I practice, the more I, analyze my game. Like, when I'm not practicing or playing, it's like, we're just going to go put a tee in the ground. We're going to make some swings. We're going to hit some shots. We're going to try to make some putts.
Yeah.
And then I go shoot 68, and then I play 2 days later, and I'm like, oh, we're going to torch this place. And then you're like, well, the swing feels like it's coming a little inside. Like, the putting feels a little awkward, and next thing you know, I shoot 79. It's like, I'm 11 shots, 11 shots different. But
it sounds like you're sandbagging. I mean, it really sounds like you're maybe just kind
Always has been.
adjusting the handicap a little bit. I remember Steve calling me a sandbagger for everything I was doing in my league, and now here's this guy, 11-stroke difference and things like that.
We'll have a tee time like a month away. He'll start hitting my phone like, I need strokes.
That's not true.
Dude,
I'm still, for the
First
record.
of all, you've played 3 times since the last time I played.
For the record, I'm still a pro,
Sandbagging.
so I'm not. I have no active handicap, which hurts me a lot in corporate settings. Because
I don't want to gas you up.
Those guys
I do not want to gas you up because your egos.
Those guys are professional. Like, you think they're good at like business? They're really good at sandbagging. Honestly, I know my boss won't listen to this, so I'm okay. But he put up.
What's his email?
Yeah. Okay. Right. He's and again, here's the perks of being on the other side of the spectrum. He's a member at this club outside DC, which is where I'm working now, and we go out there, and I was like, "What's your handicap? Like, what are you playing off of?" And he's like, 13, 14. He drops a 78 on me.
Impossible.
Granted,
you can't be a 14 and shoot 78.
Granted his home course, but he drops 78 on me, and I'm thinking to myself, I thought you were good at selling wire. You're really good at getting strokes, man. You're really good at getting strokes.
Hey,
needless to say,
on that topic,
I got torched. Yeah.
On that topic, you've played a lot of business golf. You play with members. You play business. What's like your best advice for someone that's going out with like their boss for the first time? Like, you got any little
just
tricks?
the boss or clients as well?
Listen, I don't know the corporate structure.
Well, if it's just your boss, it's going to be way more laid back than if you're going out and playing with clients. So your boss taking you out is almost like I don't want to say a bonus, but it's kind of like a bonus. Like, your boss taking you out is like, let's go have some beverages. You've been doing a great job. Like, here's my home course. Like, I want you to experience it. He's bringing you into his world. So that's kind of different than, hey, we're going to go meet these 2 guys we're trying to close this $500,000 deal with. Like, that's a completely different experience.
Let me get that one. What's the first thing you say on the first tee?
You don't say shit.
When you're with a client.
You don't say shit. I
Really?
mean, you talk, but you don't talk business. You have to just let business come naturally. Like, it's not like you go to the first tee. Hey, how did our number look on that bid for whatever? No, that's not how it works. You go to the club, you warm up, you hit some balls, you go to the locker room. Depending on what time your tee time is, you grab some food, you don't grab some food, whatever. You kind of have to feel out the drink situation, because some guys are like, hey, it's 11 o'clock in the mornings, and other guys are like, hey, we're on the golf course, let's have one.
They're like, hey, it's already 11 o'clock in the morning.
You never know. Yeah, so you kind of have to feel that one out. Which the drink situation, honestly, is the most awkward part of it, because you never know. Because you kind of feel like everyone probably wants to have a beer, but you don't really want to be the one to recommend.
Can't be the first.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Yeah. That's when it's nice to have the cart girl like come around and be like, hey, can I get you guys anything? And everyone kind of looks at each other. It's like, what time is it? Yeah, all right. Transfusion, Orange Crush, whatever. That's when that's nice. But no, when you go play business golf to try to close a deal, you have to let that conversation come naturally. It has to come organically. It can't be, hey, how'd our number look? Because you could very easily have that conversation in someone's office.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to the golf course to do that. So you hit some shots. Next thing you know, you and the vice president or the lead estimator are over in the left rough, and it's like, hey, what kind of direction you guys think you're going to go on this job? And then, you kind of open little conversation with that. But you're not going to be on the
back door? All right.
I mean, you're not going to be on the first tee like, hey, are we going to win this bid or what? It's just, you keep in mind, golf, that's a great part about golf, right? It's 4.5 hours, typically. right? A foursome at a private club with caddies, you're looking about 4.5. So you have
about 6.
yeah, I mean at your local muni, yeah, 6 life, yeah.
The rapid 6 hour.
You have all that time to do business. You know, it's awesome. So that's one of the perks of it, and I think that's why golf is super important. I mean, it's business, it's the game of life, it's everything.
And you got there and just torch the guy, like just flat out, just bury him.
Well,
just make him putt everything.
Yeah, make him putt everything.
Typically,
8
you're
inches.
not.
Mark that.
So typically, you're not playing a match. Typically, you're worried about pace of play, and typically, as the person who's trying to sell something, or even as an assistant pro playing with members, you're going to give stuff that you know in a million years they're probably not making.
I'm not playing golf if there's no match.
Okay,
really?
But what I'm saying, like
best ball at least. Come on.
When I worked in Jersey, most of our members were on Wall Street. I mean, they could buy my life a million times over and still be wealthy. There would be like some 8 foot. There would be like some 8-footers. That's probably stretching it. 6, 7-footers.
Well, it's 8-footers. Holy.
But again, when you're talking business or you're talking something, it's like, oh, that's good. You know, that's good by me. If you want to putt it, and it takes the pressure, especially as a pro, it takes the pressure off the member to make that putt. Now, yeah, if we're playing $100 Nassau, dude, you're putting it from 2.5 feet. You know,
that's right.
I don't want to ego boost you, West, but I will say, since we were young, you've always had one of the best short games that I've seen. And I've been out there on tour. I've seen some good short games, but you get up and down from spots.
Not like tour guys. Not like tour guys.
The question is, what do you think about when you're chipping? Can you help me out, first of all, and then help amateurs out who are listening to the show?
No, I think
I can't chip.
I think Knutson knows just as well as I do that you can't be helped in that situation.
Listen.
I switched to lefty, okay?
Yeah,
you can't be more in trouble than switching lefty.
I'll get Knutson. I want you to talk first, and then I can give you a quick synopsis.
Is this a whole therapy session?
Yeah,
no.
I mean, I watched Tursky. Him and I were playing together at Bandon Dunes.
Don't do it.
We were fortunate to play like 4 holes with Harry Higgs, who was out there doing a little shooting.
Funny dude.
And awesome dude. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And
he kept his shirt on, too.
He did. And I unbuttoned mine to match him, and it was quite nice. But he was sitting there, Tursky struggling. All day he'd been struggling putting with the old trusty, rusty Santa Fe. And all of a sudden he pulls out the lefty spider that just happened to be in the bag that he brought all the way to Bandon Dunes. And Harry Higgs was like, wait a minute. Did you just grab a lefty? And he's like, yeah, I used to play lefty, whatever. And the shocking look on Harry Higgs' face of just disgust.
It wasn't shock. It was disappointment.
It was just pure
it hurt his soul really
wow,
bad.
Like, this guy is struggling. He's searching so bad that he just switched hands. Like, not even switched putters, whatever. Like, he just literally went lefty.
It's rough out there, man. And I had like 17 clubs in the bag, so I basically shot like 212. All the penalty strokes.
He's a millimeter away from quitting the game.
Yes, that is the worst way to compensate for anything. I mean, you like Knutson, like you said, you've completely given up when you make that transition. Listen, I felt pathetic when I went from traditional right hand low, then I tried left hand low, and then I bailed on everything and went claw because I had a little bit of the yips with the flat stick, and I was like, "This is tough
to see.
This is a bad look."
Yeah,
never, ever have I considered pegging it from the other side. You know, never. That is the lowest of the low right there. Like you said, you are on the verge of quitting the game when you do that. Yeah. It could not be more spot on.
Like you were searching eBay for the value of your clubs and looking at bicycles to see how much they are, to see if you can make an even swap. Like, I'm done.
So here's a good one, which I mean, probably told on Mondays off or whatever.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Such a good show.
We could get sued real quick. I'll say Carp Barn, but we'll keep that for another time.
Careful, let's not get sued now.
I know. I'm trying.
The logo was fire, though.
It was good. So I'm caddying for Tursk in it was the NJ Pub Links, which was at, anyone in Jersey knows, Charleston Springs. It's a muni. It's like one of those munis that's
they would not
under the umbrella of a muni,
but
way nicer than a muni.
Yeah.
Like in the Shannock Valley, for anyone that knows courses in Jersey. Similar.
It's like an upscale muni.
Yeah. But he's playing in the Pub Links, and I had caddied for him 2 previous times, and he's played terrible. Like, terrible.
Qualified for the event.
That was at it. Okay, so 2
I
times
shot par
you
to
played,
get in.
2 times you played terrible. 1 time you played well, and then
there we go.
Give me that one time playing well got you into the Pub Links, which for anyone who doesn't know, it's basically a step down from the state amateur. I hate to say that, but it really is.
What is this?
I'm just saying, like, if you want to look at the hierarchy of like tournaments in a state golf
it's
association,
probably bottom tier.
It's like state, like the state open, then the state am, then the Pub Links, then like mid-am, then like a 4-ball or what?
Like charity
then like a
scramble for high school.
Then like the junior am, junior match
charity
play,
scramble for high school,
and then the Pub Links.
Pub Links. Gotcha. So the prize table looks like Caddyshack, where it's like a trophy and a pair of socks, trophy and a sleeve of golf balls.
Listen,
it's just medals.
The Pub Links is a big deal, and I think in any state. I mean, it's.
I think we just got through proving that it's not a big deal. But yeah.
No, it is. It is. If you look at the track record of like, and I would have to be fact checked on this, but if you look at the track record of winners of the NJ Pub Links, like I think Kevin Foley won it one year. He was out on tour.
Big name.
Eric Lafonte won it I think he won it that year that you played in it, and he definitely played mini tour. I don't know if he ever made it out on tour. Probably Mike Miller won it one year, who's an absolute monster in the Met section.
My boy, he's a baller.
Yeah, he's a gamer. Like they're the big name guys win that is what I'm saying. So I joke, but it is a big time event. Anyway, so we're playing Tursk, one of those dudes that sometimes shows up in events, sometimes doesn't. Like it's super hit or miss, but he has it's frustrating because he has the ability to do it. I've seen it, but he has his like little spurts, you know. So he's playing well, and the Pub Links, for anyone who doesn't know, once you qualify, it's 36 holes in one day. So we're out there. He goes out first round. I think he shot 75, 76, which honestly, 75. Like if you shot level par both rounds, you're top 5 probably, right?
Of course, it's playing tough.
Yeah, and of course not.
Although the winner shot like 13 under, but yeah.
I don't think he did. I think when Foley won it, he shot like 10 low. But I think Lafonte won it that year, and I think he shot like 1 or 2 under. So, like I said, level par both rounds gets you in the mix for sure. So he goes out, I think it was par 72, shoots 75, whatever. Plays really well. We get into the second round, and I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that it's because he was tired. But there were multiple times in the second round where he would have to try to hit a knockdown shot or hit an awkward wedge shot, and he'd be like, Wes, what do you think? And I'm like, dude, it's not a full pitching wedge. It's not a full 9 pitching wedge. Like West, you gotta flight the 9. And he's like, no, I want to hit pitching wedge hard. It's like, I don't think that's the play. And then he would try to flight the 9 and completely just either lay the sod over it, fan it, turn it over, like anywhere but the direction of the flag.
I can't take.
And I was
off.
like, we've got real wedge problems going on right now. And to his credit, he still shot. I think he shot 75, 76, or vice versa. Finished top 10. I mean, it was a really good showing for a state event. Yeah.
I mean, the way this was going, I was like, for sure, this was going to be like bottom few, but the top 10, that's pretty solid.
There was yardage.
My point was he probably wins that event if he has a wedge game.
Ooh.
Which I don't.
Oof.
But I do remember you saying, I think we were, 156 out, a little downwind? You're like, it's pitching wedge.
Yeah, that was pretty ridiculous, yeah.
I pulled the 56.
What?
No, you did not. You pulled 52. I told you.
Okay, 52.
Wedge. It was straight down. It was straight downwind. It was 150. I think it was 152.
The story's gotten out of hand over the last 10 years. It
could have been like
56.
139 at the time, but now it's 152.
It's about to be a 60 in like 4 years.
No, yeah. It was downwind, and it was one of those situations where I didn't want him to be short because there was long was not the miss because the back of the green kind of funneled away. I think there were a couple bunkers back there, and I was like hit. It was into the wind, and I was like, I can't remember why I thought pitching wedge was the club, but anyway, I thought pitching wedge was the club, and he hits it to like 2 feet, and I was like, I told you. And he takes his wedge and flips it over, and it's the 52. And I was like,
yeah, 5 iron?
Man.
You're fired.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, how much? What does a caddy like that get paid? Are we talking pretty big bucks? Are we talking like
I drove
a few tacos from Taco Bell? Like, what's the payment?
Taco Bell on the way home.
I drove them and a couple extracurriculars. Okay.
Yeah. No, but honestly, it's if anyone gets that opportunity, whether it's like a state event or even like an amateur, like it doesn't matter. It's fun to go out there with your boy or your friend and kind of just like grind it out a little bit. Like that's a great time. Like yeah. I would always have fun caddying for my friends. Like I caddied for Tursk. I caddied for one of my boys, Jesse, in college when like he was kind of on the PAT tour for a little bit, trying to get his pass his professional test. I think he was like six tries in, and I was like,
I know there's a good story there, but we already told it.
Yeah. But I was like, dude, you know what? Let me get on the bag, and it like that's a good time.
Yeah.
I always enjoyed that. So
yeah.
Can I switch gears completely?
Yeah, we should because we've been on this topic way too long.
Phil Mickelson.
Oof.
Go ahead, Wes. I'll let you handle this one.
Wow.
You hate to see it. I feel like I feel like I've been saying it since day one. Like his little thumbs up is so it's so fake, and obviously that's accurate. As much as I hate to say it, I mean, great player, has done a ton for the game of golf, but I worked for a guy that like anytime Tiger's on, I'm like, oh, let's go Tiger. Anytime Phil was on, he would be like, let's go Phil. And I'm like, he's a fraud. And he'd be like, no, Phil's the greatest.
You say fraud?
I'm like, little thumbs up, hey, thumbs up. Okay. You want to play both sides? Like I don't like people that play both sides. And I don't know Phil personally, so I don't really feel like it's fair for me to speak on that and give him a bad rap. Like, I'm sure there was a reason behind what he was doing, but it's certainly. And again, you can't trust. Sorry for you guys, but you can't trust the media because they'll always portray things the way they want to portray things. But
I take offense.
I know, but
what do you think it does to Phil's legacy? I mean, like you said, I mean, he's arguably top 10 to ever play the game. I mean, realistically, in terms of wins, majors, all that. I mean, guy's got to be top 10 in terms of all time.
Yeah,
but then what does that do? Like when you in 25 years, when you look back and they're talking about honorable, starters for the Masters, like where does that hurt Phil? Like is he
that's over?
No longer considered or whatever,
I think if things come to fruition with that golf league, it definitely hurts Phil. But let's also be cognizant of the fact that things might not come to fruition.
True.
Like,
and also,
let's
a lot of
happens.
other players could join the league.
They could. A lot of other players have already said that they're not going to do that, and that's where it gets interesting because I'm sure you guys in the golf world have talked this to exhaustion, but if you get like 20 players that are 60 to 100 in the world, like does that garner the attention that they're going to try to pay these guys. Probably not.
No way.
No.
Need a big name.
That's what I'm saying.
And we said Anthony Kim.
When it was,
I thought that was like the perfect name.
When there were talks that it was going to be, Phil and Bryson and who else was in that mix? I mean, there were like 3 top 10 guys in that mix at some point. I mean, that probably does it. But we talked about this 3 years ago when this was in the works, and I was still on a podcast with you guys. I mean, the PGA Tour is always going to be the PGA Tour, and if you're a big name, why are you going to go do that? Right? Your legacy, the top 20, 30 guys on the tour, they don't need that money.
No.
It's not important to them. It's
the
way
numbers
more
they were
important.
tossing around, though, like
Is
2 hundo, 3 hundo.
Listen, the money's astronomical. Don't get me wrong. But the purses on the tour keep growing. Sponsorships and endorsements keep growing. I mean, what was the winner of the Players this year? 3.1?
Yeah.
I think it was 2.8.
Yeah,
I thought it was over 3. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
I think the total purse was 20, and every single Saudi Arabia event is going to be 25.
Okay, so that's overall total field. That's not that much more money for someone who's chasing a legacy. You want to play on the tour. You want to play in the majors. And I saw Greg Norman say that, they could still play in the majors, whatever. I find it hard to believe that they're going to be able to coexist. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and it was Players was 3.6 to the winner.
Thank you.
Cam Smith 3.6, 2.1.
Yep. I'll take the L on that one.
No,
So I mean, you got events now. Like if you win a PGA Tour event, it's easy 7 figures.
Yeah,
And
all that comes with it too. Exemptions.
Why would you want to go anywhere else?
Status.
Well, I mean, like you said though. I mean, a guy like Robert Garrigus, the guy wins? He's going to win 4 times in his whole career. Say he plays 20 years, he's going to win 4 times. If he goes over there and he wins 4 times in his whole career, he puts, call it $20 million in his bank account. Or over here, he put $4 million. I mean, there's a reason for it. But again, how do you support a tour with 20 Robert Garriguses playing? I mean, no offense to Robert Garrigus.
No, I was just going to say.
Player.
I'm sorry, Robert. I love your short putter.
Sorry, Bob.
I love your action, man. But
yeah, I mean nothing against him.
Nobody signed up to come watch you play.
Great
man.
action.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Jeez, that's rough. But yeah, that's certainly not like. I don't know where the whole thing is crazy. Where are they driving this money from? You're not going to have spectators.
Don't ask me. I don't know.
You're not going to. What kind of sponsors are you going to get? I mean, I don't know. The money over there, like Dubai money, is crazy. So who knows?
Let me cut you off right there, West. How about we switch it to Tiger Woods? Feelings, thoughts, concerns.
I mean, everybody has concerns.
He was hitting balls though. He was out at.
I saw
Southern
Hills.
He was out at Southern Hills hitting balls, playing.
That leg sleeve looks good.
Swing. I think
Still with the
I think
foot
my
choice.
club head speed's faster than his right now from the video I saw at Southern Hills. But
did you just call out Tiger Woods?
Yeah, and I swing it at like 103.
You want that smoke, huh?
No, do I get pops?
You need like 14 pops to compete with Tiger. I don't care what track we're on.
I'm not going to go down that path. I don't know. What do you want me to say about it? I have concerns. I have concerns with his health. I'm glad that he's playing again. But him being successful is going to be super venue specific, I think, at this point. And that's assuming he can stay healthy.
Yeah.
Southern Hills, St. Andrews.
I mean, St. Andrews definitely sets up way better than Southern Hills.
Yeah, but St. Andrews, if the weather's good, he's definitely got a chance. If it's super cold and super rainy and all that, he's already admitted that like the cold and all that is like tough on him. You make a really cold, windy, rainy day. What's he going to do? I mean, that's not set up for But yeah, if it's warm and sunny and whatever, sure, he probably is going to have a pretty good day.
Listen, St. Andrews, no wind, like 34 under is going to win.
Oh yeah, they're going to
they got no defense.
But
out there.
that's not going to happen.
What? No wind?
No, I mean, what's the low tournament scoring record at St. Andrews? It's definitely not 34.
I watched you shoot like 48 on Dreamcast.
Yeah, a Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2005. Yeah.
Is that what it was? Dreamcast
what is the
GameCube
score?
or something?
Does anyone know? Can we fact check that? What's the scoring record at St. Andrews? It's definitely not 34. I doubt it's even 20. Has anyone got to 20 in a Open championship?
Well, now I feel underprepared. Listen, you got good Wi-Fi over there?
You probably should have prepped a little bit better before you prompted that question.
Scoring record.
Fair enough. I don't have an
guarantee
intern,
you
though.
it's like 7. It's probably like 16, 17. I don't think anyone's ever gotten to 20.
Probably. I think Carnoustie always gets the guys bad. That's the one that's like over par if it gets blown.
That's what I'm saying. So Tiger being successful is super venue specific. Also, how many
always has been though.
No,
always has been.
Okay, horses for courses. But now we're talking about different venues.
But he also has like 14 courses where it's like that's his course.
Firestone, Bay Hill, Torrey,
so
Augusta,
Sneaky Pebble.
Hold on.
19 is the one I found on Wikipedia as I scroll through. 19
Okay.
under for an Open championship.
Does it say who it was?
Yeah, it does.
Is it
Tiger Woods.
I think it was the year that Jack retired, right?
In
Wasn't that the
2000.
same year?
He shot 19
Okay.
under. 269.
Okay, so that's the greatest golfer of all time in his prime. Doesn't even get to 20. So 34 is the most unrealistic number I've ever heard in my entire life.
I'm just saying, if there's no wind, with how
But there's
deep
not
the
going to be
fields
no
are,
wind. It's an Open championship.
It's open.
I mean,
It's weather.
It's open.
It's weather.
dude, come on. But again, yes, he has his venues that he wins at. But what I'm saying, even more so now, like Torrey, I think is out of the picture.
For Tiger,
Anything
it's
over,
like 77 now. So
That's what I'm saying. Anything over 72.5, 73, anything longer than that, take him out of the event.
His ball
It's not
speed's
gonna-
still like 171, 72 though.
He is only going to win either local knowledge courses, like
I thought you were about to say local amateur events.
no. I mean, I think he can win again, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be at a place like Augusta. It's going to be at a place like Bay Hill. It's going to be at a place
Did you
like...
just say Tiger's going to win the Masters again?
No, but I'm not going to put it past him. I mean, how many more shots does he have at Augusta, realistically? 10?
4.
If he stays healthy?
4.
He's 46.
You don't think he'll play till he's 55 at Augusta?
No. He won't hold up.
I think he will.
No way.
I think
He's
he
not
will.
that type of dude.
Yeah. When
just not.
it
comes to a place like Augusta, though,
If
can
he
always
thinks
compete.
he's going to shoot 9 over through 2 rounds, he ain't teeing it up.
Look at his track record at Augusta, man. That's all I'm saying.
I just don't think. I think you got
In his prime.
at best you got 5 years of him on tour.
Okay, so
Yeah.
5 years at Augusta.
I say 4. 4 puts him at what?
What's
That's 50,
What's
right?
his average finish at the Masters?
Probably
top
like
10?
T4.
Top 10?
He's only missed the cut a couple times. So.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I think his highest finish is like it's maybe one missed cut, and then after that it's like 21st or something. Like his track record there is ridiculous. So yeah, you give him 5 more tries in the right conditions. If his body's healthy, maybe, right? Maybe St. Andrews. Like the the majors concern me more than winning a regular event.
He doesn't
he's gonna
play
be,
too
he's
many,
going to be
though.
super picky. He's going to try to play in all the majors, and those venues are just going to get longer and tougher. The rough's going to get long. It's not going to set up well for him with the majors.
Yeah.
There's too many good guys out there. There's too many good players.
But he always has the Open. None of the Open courses are too long. And he's a shot maker. He's still got that. He's proved it.
Yeah,
I thought so. He got himself around the course.
I don't see. I'm not as well versed on
couple
the
of rusty
Opens
shots,
as you are,
but-
so I don't know. I don't know how long those courses are. Are they typically like around 7?
Yeah. 72, par
So-
70.
Yeah.
typically.
I mean, that's in his wheelhouse, for sure.
He probably prefers when the wind's up super high because he can.
I think right now, the shorter the course or the tougher the conditions, it favors Tiger.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
All right, West. I got one more for you. I don't know how many nuts and has. If you had to put your net worth on a golf match against a PGA Tour pro, current in match play, who do you think you could beat? And what course are you taking him to?
Well, all right, first and foremost, I'm definitely taking him to one of the courses I've worked at. I'm going to need that level of knowledge. Everybody out there would be like, oh, you can't take him to a 6,800-yard private club. They'll torch you. Yeah, but I can probably make every putt if I hit a green in regulation. So I got to go there, right? I'm not going to take him to Bethpage Black. That would be a huge mistake. People that I'd like to beat, I mean, Rory Sabatini's definitely high on that list. But I'm sorry if he's a friend of the show, but yeah, not a huge fan of
future
Sabatini.
Friend of the show.
Hopefully.
Well,
yeah,
not anymore.
Listen, I'm not.
Rory's off the list.
I have no affiliation with Golf WRX, so I'm sorry.
You're a guest.
Yeah.
Let it rip. Call some people out. Let's go.
Who do I think I could beat? It's such a loaded question. I mean, definitely no one in the top 100. Like I'm going to try to pick off some like Korn Ferry Tour players. That
I don't think that's the heart of the question.
Like, okay, so who in the top 25 do I think I could beat?
Yeah, I mean,
what's the question? No one. Those guys are so good. I mean, come on. What are you asking? Do I think I could go take down like a? Listen, I mean, the way Ricky Fowler's playing, maybe. I don't know. Sorry, Ricky.
That's actually probably the right answer.
Yeah, I mean,
but like, none of the people in the top like.
Well, you were chirping Tiger pretty hard before.
No, I don't want any of that smoke. I do think that maybe I could sneaky catch like a top 200 guy like on a bad day and maybe steal a win. But it wouldn't be like all the time. It would be a one-off. Those guys are so good. Their short games are so good. They hit the ball so solid. I mean,
I just want to say I like this dude, and I'm not even calling him out. I just think like it's my best chance. Keegan Bradley. Just like if he gets off, he might shoot 78.
He played, but
like,
he played
sneak
decent.
up on him. If he's striking, he's going to shoot 64 and just like really, really upset me.
So that's the problem.
But if I catch him on
when
that
you look at that's the problem. Is I think there are guys out there that you could catch on a bad day, but if they take it low, their low is so much lower than your low.
Plus, I could play 4 rounds at a PGA Tour event and be like 54 over.
Yeah,
you know
who you might have a shot at? Morgan Hoffman.
All right,
maybe.
And thank you, Steve Westphal, for joining the show. This was 3 guys talking golf.
Oh my gosh,
that's
you gotta
awesome.
have some fun. You gotta have some fun.
He played.
What else?
He played at Hilton Head.
I know. It looked awesome. His comments.
He's got the flow
great.
too.
Yeah, he had the little ponytail going on. Right?
Oh, it's more than a ponytail. He's got the whole.
What do you call
that? Flowing. It's like the Tarzan.
The Tarzan.
I think that's what you call that, dude.
Love it.
Anyway, what else we got on the docket? I'm not going to go down this Morgan Hoffman path. I mean, you were lucky enough to beat him once in your life.
I wasn't lucky.
Unfortunately,
I was 4 under through 12. I mean, I don't know what else you want.
But Andrew, he's made it out on tour.
I'm proud of him.
Played at Oklahoma State. Got like violently ill for a while.
Honestly,
and then
he's doing great things in the world.
And then still made it back out on tour before you've ever sniffed even a Monday qualifier. So let's keep it a buck.
Listen,
on that one.
I interviewed him at Hilton Head.
How did you tell him that you beat him in match play?
He didn't recognize me.
Shocker.
So that's where I'm at. Like,
Who the heck is this guy?
that's my
Andrew
claim to
brought the
fame.
scorecard.
He has no idea.
Can you please sign this?
No, I got a selfie with him.
You know he still has it too, Knudsen. You know he still has the scorecard.
It's framed up in his room at his parents' house. It's like up on the wall.
Without a doubt.
Literally
Without a
is.
doubt.
Literally
It
is.
probably is.
It's right next to my Arnold Palmer autographed flag.
Here we go.
From we don't have to go down that road. But seriously, Steve, on short notice, thank you for blessing
Yeah.
two guys talking golf with your presence, man. Welcome back.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Still on my desk.
What is he got? Cheese.
The pocket cheeseburger.
Listen, that is forever. I've told so many people that story.
It's an amazing story. And like I said, I made a ball marker with that. And it's still sitting on my desk right here. It's never left.
It's really good. I'm glad I left my legacy on the assistant pros out there.
Hey, you know what?
That's
Not
for
everybody
sure.
can be the number one former assistant pro who's now slinging wire for a living. You know,
There's
only
only
so
one.
many guys out there.
We'll see you guys next week.
What?